Here's everything you need to know about the Punta Cana Airport, including how to avoid common mistakes and scams. I also review the VIP services that the airport offers that you can purchase that helps you skip the lines and get access to lounges. And be sure to check out part 1 where I give you everything you need to know about arriving to the Punta Cana Airport. So first, the question I get all the time is how far in advance should you arrive to the airport? And honestly, it really depends. So 3 hours in advance is usually the suggested time, especially if you're checking in a bag or you're traveling during peak time. But if you're not checking in a bag, then you can probably arrive 2 hours in advance. And honestly, this is one of the major reasons why I do a carry-on only, so I don't have to get to the airport so early. Now, they don't have TSA pre-check yet here, but you actually can cut the lines through their VIP service, which I'm going to talk about at the end of this video. Now, in terms of getting to the airport from your resort or wherever you're staying, I always recommend private transportation. So I will put the links of my recommendations in the description below. But there's 2 scams that can happen right away when you're being dropped off that you need to be aware of. The first one are the porters that approach you as you arrive and immediately start grabbing your luggage and putting it on the curb and then wanting money for it. So you should never let anyone you do not know touch your luggage, actually ever. This goes for any airport that you are traveling to. So what happens is they basically start taking your luggage over to the curb and they want to escort you into the airport and then they'll ask you for money. So I usually just hand them $1 because I know they need the money and say no gracias. Now, another thing that can happen is people that look like airport officials will approach you and tell you there is a departure tax that you have to pay in cash. And that actually was a thing years ago, but now the departure tax is $20 and they just include it into your flight cost. So the first stop is security. Now, I've never had any issues with things being confiscated out of my bags, but I have heard different stories, especially with liquids and expensive perfumes. And in fact, I'm going to reiterate one of the tips that I gave in part 1 is to not bring any valuables or expensive things, period. Now, after security, there is a passport check, and here they did have the e-gates, but they also have staff booths as well. And finally, you can start making your way to the gate, which will be on your boarding pass. You go through duty free. Now, I personally never purchase anything here. I never think the prices are that great, but you do have the opportunity to do that, and then they will seal the bag and bring it to the gate for you. Now, they do have quite a few restaurants to choose from, and I feel like the price gouging is not as bad as it is at the Cancun airport, but you are still going to be paying airport prices. So I went to Pizza Hut, got a small pizza, some breadsticks. That was around $20, and then a vodka soda was around $15. So one of the most annoying things about the Punta Cana Airport is that it's open air and there's very little AC. So make sure you dress lightly. I actually even brought a neck fan this time that saved me. It's also difficult to hear any announcements. In fact, I don't even know if they make any. So you really need to be at your gate and aware so you know what's going on. Now let's break down the VIP services that the airport offers that allows you to skip the lines and access their lounges. Now, make sure you are on the official Punta Cana Airport website, which I will put in the description because there are other companies that offer this service and it's not a scam, but they just offer it for a lot more money. And all of the prices and everything is listed on their website. So I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but I just kind of wanted to break down what the differences were. So the only service that they offer on arrival is their VIP meet and greet. This is $100 per person. Kids 2 to 7 are free. And this is something you should definitely consider if you are arriving during peak times or weekends or holidays. Now, on departure, they offer the same service, but it's $200 a person. But they also have this fast track service that I really wanted to try, but it's only offered in Terminal B, and I depart from Terminal A. Now, it's a lot less money than the premium service because you don't get access to the VIP lounge, but there are some lounge services, and sometimes they actually discount this. So if you are departing from Terminal B, you should definitely at least see what the cost is for the day. Now, if you just wanted access to the lounge, they do have this for both Terminal A and Terminal B. In fact, they just built a new one in Terminal A. So that price is $50 a person. I did this once, and it was actually, I thought, kind of not worth it because it was really hot and crowded, but at least it's something to look into, especially if you have to stay at the airport a long time before your flight leaves. And of course, I always love hearing from you in the comment section. So if you have used any of these VIP services, I would love to know more about your experience. Or if you have any other questions about Punta Cana or the airport, I do try to respond to all comments and questions. And keep following me at 3 Days and Tres Noches, where I bring you honest resort reviews and travel tips and show you can have an amazing vacation in a really short amount of time.